Hello, everyone. Sorry that this video is a day or two late. Life just gets busy. And can you believe that we are nearing the end of this book? What an incredible journey we have been on. All right, well, let me go ahead and move into this week's read in chapter 30. Now, as we step into chapter 30, I think it helps just to name something up front. Revelation is one of those books that can feel intimidating. Now, some people love it, some people avoid it, and some people have only ever heard it taught in ways that feel scary or confusing. So let's take a breath and walk through this together in a way that's grounded and calm. Now, Hamilton's whole goal in this chapter is to help us see Revelation the way that the early church would have seen it, not as a secret codebook for predicting the end of the world, but as a letter of hope written to real people who were struggling. Revelation was written to 7 actual churches in the very first century. These were communities facing pressure, persecution, and fear. They weren't looking for predictions about events thousands of years later. They needed encouragement right then. So the book isn't trying to give us a timeline, it's trying to give them and us hope. And then there's the imagery. Revelation is full of beasts and dragons and lampstands and trumpets, bowls and numbers, cosmic battles. It's a lot. But the author reminds us that this is apocalyptic literature, a style of writing that uses symbols the way that political cartoons use exaggerated images today. The point is the symbol itself. The point is what the symbol is pointing to. When you keep that in mind, the whole book starts to feel less overwhelming. You're not trying to decode every detail. You're listening for the message underneath the imagery. And that message is actually really simple. God is still in control. Stay faithful. Evil doesn't get the last word. Now, the early Christians were living under the shadow of the Roman Empire. They were asking questions like, is God still on the throne? Is any of this worth it? Does our faithfulness even matter? Revelation answers with a steady, hopeful yes. Even the parts that get the most attention, like the beast or the number 666, make more sense when you remember the original audience. Hamilton explains that the early Christians would have recognized those images as references to Rome, especially the Emperor Nero. 666 wasn't a mystery number. It was a way of referring to Nero using a Jewish numerical system. So Revelation wasn't predicting a future politician. It was naming the oppressive power of its own time. Now, the heart of the book isn't the beast or the battles. It's the ending. Revelation closes with this beautiful vision of a new heaven and a new earth, God dwelling with his people, every tear wiped away, no more death or mourning or pain. That's the center of the whole thing. That's the promise and that's the hope. Hamilton encouraged us to read Revelation with a humility, not as a timeline we're supposed to decode, with imagination, letting the symbols do their work. With hope, trusting that God's victory is the final word, and with compassion, remembering that this was written to people who were suffering. Revelation isn't a book to fear. It's a book meant to steady us. So here is the heart of chapter 30. Revelation isn't about predicting the end of the world. It's about reminding us that no matter how dark things get, God is still God. Love still wins, and the story ends with renewal, not destruction. It's a book of hope, a book of courage, and a book that whispers, hold on, God is making all things new. I hope that helps, and I'll see you all next time. Grace and peace, friends.